All right, shalom, shalom. Give up praise up and all Yahweh. Bashem Mashak Yahushua, Bashem Kakadash. Peace and blessings to our beloved brothers baptized in His New Testament for the remission of sins. And today I want to bring out some information on our forefather Abraham. And I want to show where he comes from. Where does Abraham come from? Where does Abraham come from, beloved ones? Huh? Does he come from a land called the land of the Hebrews? Huh? Is Abraham from the land of the Hebrews? Is there a land called the land of Ebar? Where's Ebar's land at? All right, so I'm just going to bring out today where Abraham comes from, man. So bring out a couple verses on it real quick. It says Genesis chapter 11, verse 27. Now these are the generations of Terah. Terah begot Abraham, which that was his name before the Lord changed his name, Nahor, and Haran. And Haran begot Lot, which is what? Haran is Abraham's brother. Lot is Abraham's what? Nephew. What nationality is Lot? Huh? What nationality is Lot? Well, let's keep it going, because Lot is who? Haran's son. And so it says Haran died before his father Terah. Haran is Abraham's brother, man. Terah is Abraham's daddy, man. Terah begot Abraham, right? And Haran died before his father Terah in the land of his nativity in Ur of the Chaldees, man. Okay. What's this in Abraham and Nahor took them. So the point of this is Terah, Nahor, Haran, Lot, all right, they all lived in Ur, man, of the Chaldees. Ur, it's not the land of the Hebrews. Do your homework on Ur is not the land of the Hebrews. And guess what? Hebrew wasn't the main language of Ur. It's not. Okay? So let's get the word Ur in the Hebrew, all right? All right, so we have the Hebrew word Ur, right? Because remember, this was the land of their nativity of Haran, which is Abraham's brother. And that's where they lived at, man, in Ur. And Ur comes from the Hebrew word, like the brothers pronounce it, Awar, or Ur, if you combine the characters, okay, or right, which goes back to flame. Just like when you get the name for the archangel, what? Uriel or Uriel, which means flame of God or light of God. City in southern Babylonia, the city of the Chaldeans, century of moon worship, right? Which that goes into one of the wicked one's sons and angels. It says home of Abraham's father Terah. Home of Abraham's father Terah. So Abraham's father was from what? Ur, which makes Abraham from Ur. And Abraham's brother died in the land of his nativity, which is Ur. Okay? It says home of Abraham's father Terah, and departure point for the Abraham's migration to Mesopotamia and Canaan. All right? So Abraham was from Ur, man. He was from what? Babylon. Abraham's from Babylon, man. That's where he's from. Ur. Okay? And we know in Ur they was dealing with what? Different gods that ain't dealing with the creator, man. All right, so this is where Abraham's from, man. Okay, this is not a land for the Hebrews, man. This is not a land where Hebrew is the main language. They lived in Ur, man. So they were speaking the language in Babylon, the language of Chaldee. All right. Was Terah Abraham's father speaking Hebrew, or was he speaking the language of his nativity? It says Terah, the ninth descendant from Noah, was the father of Abraham, Nahor, and Haran. Haran was the father of Lot, who was Abraham's nephew. It says the entire family lived in Ur of the Chaldees. Haran died in his native city, Ur of the Chaldees. All right, so it says the whole family lived there, man, in Ur of the Chaldees. Okay? That's where they lived. Genesis chapter 11, verse 28, and Haran, which is Abraham's brother, died before his father Terah, which is Abraham's father, and his brother's father, in the land of his nativity in Ur the Chaldees, man. Ur is in Babylon, man. So that means what? Abraham was speaking that same language that they spoke when the whole earth was of one speech, man. So Abraham knew the pure language. See that? But what the Lord had what? Separated everything. Because what? The whole earth was of one speech, worshiping Satan. Remember the scripture says in Revelation, it says, all whose name is not written in the book of life shall worship him, man. All right, so let's keep it going. Genesis 11:31, and Terah took Abraham his son, and Lot the son of Haran, his son's son, and it's like he says his daughter-in-law, his son Abraham's wife, and they went forth with them from Ur of the Chaldees to go into the land of Canaan, man. So before Abraham went to the homeland, he was what? He was in Babylon, man. Speaking the Babylon language, man. That was of one speech. Okay? It says, and they came to Haran and dwelt there. All right, so they left Babylon, and the Lord gave them the land of Canaan, man, as a promise. Okay? This is why what? Gentiles is fighting over what? The land of Canaan right now. Okay? So in Babylon, what? They in the land of Shinar in Genesis, when the whole earth spoke in one language, they were in Babylon. They were in the land of Shinar, though, which the land of Shinar is also Samaria, which goes back to the most ancient language, which was the language they were speaking in Shinar. Okay? So that's where they was from. Babylon. Okay, speaking the ancient language of Shinar, when the whole earth was of one speech. Genesis chapter 15, verse 7, and he said unto him, I am the Lord that brought thee out of Ur of the Chaldees to give thee this land to inherit. So, hey, the Lord put Abraham together, man. You know what I'm saying? And he what? Brought him out of Ur. See that? Which that shows you what? That this kingdom is before the kingdom of Israel, man. It's before the kingdom of the Hebrew Israelites. All right, because what this language is, the language of Ur existed way before There ever were Hebrew Israelites in the homeland in Jerusalem. Do your homework, man. All right. Nehemiah chapter 9, verse 7. Thou art the Lord the God. Thou art the Lord the God who didst choose Abraham and broughtest him forth out of Ur of the Chaldees. So he brought him out of Babylon, man, Mesopotamia, Samaria. Okay? So that's where he was at, man. He wasn't in no land called Ebar. Okay? All right, so as you see, Abraham was from Ur of Babylon. And, you know, Babylon, or Shinar, is talking about Samaria, which is where the beginning started, man. All right, so that's where the ancient language comes from, since summer. This is why the whole earth was speaking one language, man. See that? They tried to do that here in America and have all nations, you know, everybody speaking one language. But guess what? The English ain't the holy tongue. That's funny. But yeah, it says Sumer. Sumer is ancient Samaria. So that's what Abraham and them all spoke, man. Okay? That's where they were from. They were from Ur. Can't get around that, man. All right, and what? He was a descendant from Eber. All right? He was a descendant from Eber, which made him a Hebrew, but that wasn't the language that they spoke. Just like today, we're Hebrews, but you got Hebrews that don't speak Hebrew, right? And the Hebrew we call Hebrew, it's not a language. That's not the language of the man Ebar, all right? What we call Hebrew, that comes from what? The Canaanite and Aramaic, man, which all goes back to what? Syrian languages, man, from the Syrians. All right, that's why you have something called the Assyrian Hebrew, the Canaanite language. This is not Ebar's original language, man. These are languages that descend for more ancient nations, man. All right? Acts chapter 7, verse 1. Then said the high priest, are these things so? And he said, men and brethren and fathers, hearken. The God of glory appeared unto our father Abraham when he was in Mesopotamia. See that? So Abraham comes from Mesopotamia. Abraham doesn't come from a land called the land of the Hebrew Israelites. Abraham is not from the land of Canaan, which is our homeland. See that? Do your homework on Abraham is not from our homeland, man. He's not from the land of Canaan. Abraham's not from the Jerusalem. He wasn't born in Jerusalem. Do your homework on Abraham wasn't born in Jerusalem, man. All right? So it says what? The God of glory appeared unto our father Abraham when he was in Mesopotamia, before he dwelt in Charan, which was his land of Canaan, man. So showing you he's not originally from the land of Canaan, man. All right. Yes, he descends from Ebar, but what? Ebar, that language, Ebar wasn't even a language, man. That's why when you do your homework on the Hebrew language, Hebrew comes from what? Aramaic, man. And what? Canaanite languages. Canaanite and Aramaic languages, showing you the original man, Ebar, he didn't speak a language called Hebrew. He spoke Aramaic, and they spoke the Sumerian languages. Okay, Aramaic and those Syrian and Canaanite languages. They didn't speak this modern Hebrew and Yiddish, and they didn't speak none of that, man. Okay? They wasn't speaking that, man. All right. It says when he was in Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia is Samaria. All right. It says in Mesopotamia before he dwelt in Charan, which is supposed to be Canaan, and said unto him, get thee out of thy country. The Lord was telling him to get out of his country, his homeland, and from thy kindred, and come into the land which I shall show thee. So, see, Abraham wasn't born in the land of Canaan, man. He wasn't born in Jerusalem. Okay? So he didn't speak what? The land he didn't speak how Jake think he speaks, man. He spoke the land of Mesopotamia, man. The land of Samaria. Those ancient Aramaic and Canaanite languages. That's where Hebrew comes from. Hebrew comes from the language of other nations, man. Aramaic is a whole nother nation. Speaking the language of Canaan, Canaan is a whole nother nation, man. All right. So Abraham is from Mesopotamia, Samaria, Babylon. Right. Then came he out of the land of Chaldeans, which is Babylon, man. Okay. That's where he was from. That's why in Babylon they spoke what? The pure language, where the whole earth was spoke in one tongue, man. All right. Which what we call the Paleo Hebrew, it goes back into the ancient Sumerian and Aramaic languages, man. The Syrian and Aramaic languages, man, from Mesopotamia. All right. So that's where it really come from. All right. Hebrew is not the first man. All right. So Ebar, there was languages way before Ebar existed, man. All right. They were speaking the ancient Sumerian languages of Mesopotamia way before Ebar existed. It says the principal languages of ancient Mesopotamia were Sumerian, Babylonian, and Assyrian, together sometimes known as Akkadian. All right, read the Yahweh Akkad, man. All right, it comes from the Akkad, the ancient Sumerian languages, man, which the Lord is going to bring that back like it was in Genesis, but this time Satan's not going to be getting all the glory. This is why he had to prolong that language, man, because he didn't want the whole earth praising him like that, man. All right, so what? Abraham was from Mesopotamia. Read Acts chapter 7. I just brought it out. Acts chapter 7 tell you he was from Mesopotamia, which is Sumer, over there in Babylon. It's all over there, man. All right, so this is one of the principal languages of Mesopotamia. The main languages of Mesopotamia are Sumerian, Babylonian, and Assyrian together. All right, because these languages all go back to the pure speech, but the thing is, the Lord divided a lot of it. All right, so Satan don't get praise in one tongue, man. It says Sumerian, Imegar, native tongue, is the language of ancient Sumer. It is one of the oldest attested languages, dating back to at least 2,900 BC. It is accepted to be the local language, isolated, and it has been spoken in ancient Mesopotamia, in the area that is modern Iraq. And that's exactly where Abraham was from. He was from Do your homework, man. Abraham was from Ur of the what? The Chaldees, man. Acts chapter 7 tell you he was what? From Mesopotamia. Okay, Mesopotamia is ancient Sumer, man. So that was the language that they were speaking, which this language has basically been went extinct, man. This is why it's gonna take the Lord to come back to break it back down, man. All right. This is the what? The language that they all spoke in Babylon. In Genesis chapter 11, when the whole earth was one speech, they were speaking the ancient Mesopotamian Sumerian language. So this is why you guys, if any of you jakes look at the alphabet of this thing, you ain't gonna know what's going on, man. Because what? This is an ancient language, man. The Lord speak about bringing a nation upon you whose language you do not understand, man. All right? That was talking about the Babylonians when he brought up us upon them. He brought them upon us, man. Okay? So this is the oldest language, man. And this is why everybody on earth was speaking it in Genesis chapter 11. The pure language, which is the oldest language. Okay? Which is in Mesopotamia, Iraq. That's where Abraham was from. Okay? He wasn't from Canaan, man. So, shalom.